ILR is not about completing 5 years or 10 years. It is also about getting the application right. In this video, I'll take you through the ILR form set O step by step, explaining each section. But before that, I'm not a solicitor or an immigration consultant. I'm sharing what I did in my successful ILR application. Please follow it at your own risk. Please subscribe for more information like this. Also, comment below what video should I do next. Let's get started. Google Form Set O ILR, you will land in this go.uk page. It's a simple, straightforward application. I'll go through it step by step. Click yes if you're applying from the UK. If you have other Home Office application which is under process, you have to provide details here. In my case, it is a no. Provide your email address and create a password for this application. You can save this application anytime and retrieve it using this ID and password. Save and continue. Log into your email address and click the verify link sent by this application and verify your email address. Once your email address is verified, come back to the application and continue the application. So who the email address belong to? In my case, I did the application, so I've selected the applicant. If you're not using the immigration advisor, select no. This is the most important question. In which category are you applying for ILR? This is an example for skilled worker 5-year route. So I'm selecting skilled worker. Under skilled worker, there are 3 categories. I'm going to select skilled worker. You can select according to your category. First section is completed. You can review your answers and continue. Click answer questions about this applicant and continue with the application. Provide your name as listed in the passport. I'm not an immigration consultant or a solicitor. This is what I have done in my application and I'm sharing it with you all. If you have any other names, select yes and provide the details. In my case, it was a no. Provide or verify your email address. Provide your contact phone number. Provide your current address. I'm just randomly giving some address. When it comes to the address, the application will ask you for your last 5 years address. So be prepared for that. Provide your sex and relationship status. As I've said, it's a straightforward application. You don't have to think too much. You just have to provide the details that you already have. In this section, it is about your nationality and the country of birth and your date of birth. Provide your passport details in this section. I'm just randomly typing in some numbers. If you had a BRP, click yes and provide the BRP details or click no and move on. In my case, I had a BRP, so I'm just giving some random numbers. This section is about the identity card in India. I provided the passport number and the passport issue date and the expiry date. For other countries, if you have a specific identity number, please use that. In my case, I used my passport number. If you have other nationalities, select yes and provide details. In my case, it was no, so I'm selecting no. The next question is about the home address. You have to provide the details of the addresses you have lived in the last 5 years. Just for ease of use, I'm selecting 5 years. This is the most important question because this determines whether you're qualifying for ILR or not. So don't make a mistake. For this question, provide your current visa status. This is another important question. Provide your current visa expiry date. Remember, you should have a valid visa when you're submitting the ILR application. I have not spent time in crown dependencies, so I'm selecting no. If you are, then provide the details. Provide all your absences from the UK. Remember, no more than 180 days absences are allowed in a consecutive 12-month period to qualify for ILR. Provide all the details of the time spent outside the UK and Crown dependencies. For example, I'm going to provide two different instances of taking a holiday from the UK and spending a month in India and also in Turkey. This is just for example. Provide your actual details with the actual date. What is the evidence you're going to provide to prove your absences from the UK? Select one from here. I used employer letter. If you want the format of the employer letter, please follow and comment. I'll share it with you. This is another important question. Have you lived in another country, including your country of birth? Please provide that. I've lived in India, so I clicked yes. Provide the details of the countries that you have lived and also the date that you have lived there from and lived there to and the reason why you lived there. Provide your national insurance number. I'm just providing some random numbers. Provide the details of life in the UK test. If you have not done the life in the UK test, check out my videos. I have provided mock exam websites you can easily pass with just 10 hours of focused preparation. If you have already passed, provide the unique test reference number that you have received after passing the test. If you had any problems with UK immigration, please provide that details here. I've selected no. If you had any other visa refusals from any other countries, provide that details here. I've selected no. Most important question, provide your sponsor license number. This should be in your COS. Another important section, provide your SOC code as per your COS. Provide your annual salary and the hours worked as per your COS, but if your salary has increased, provide the annual salary as per the employer letter that you're going to provide. If you have taken any parental or adoption leave, provide here. I've selected no. Any convictions or other penalties, provide the information here. I've selected no. And any war crimes, I've selected no. Any affiliation to terrorist activities, I've selected no. Any affiliation to terrorist organizations, I've selected no. Any affiliation towards terrorist views, I've selected no. Any action that might indicate that you're not a person of good character, I've selected no again. If you have any other previous application with Home Office reference number, provide here. For this example, I've selected no. Most of the application is completed. Once you click continue, you can verify the answers that you have so far submitted. If you would like to add additional applicants like spouse or a dependent child, you can select and add an additional applicant to the same application. Subscribe and comment if you want the dependent application video. Most important ILR qualifying question, I have selected no. You have to provide consent for third party checks. Click this box and download the declaration of consent, which you can do it later. For any documents that you're submitting to the Home Office, if there is a joint account or any third party involved, you have to select yes and provide consent. You can click on return to this application later at any point of time. You can either download this application for reviewing or email this link to click on it and come back where you left. So I have sent the link to my email and I'm going to my email, clicking on the link. It provides the password and it brings back to me to the page where I exactly left. So for this example, I'm going to select no for the consent for the third party checks. That brings us to the ILR application checklist. The checklist is specific to each application depending on the information that you have provided in the application. I have done a separate video on this. Please check it out. The next page is to review the answers that was provided in the previous section. The final page is the declaration that we are stating that we have completed the application and we are the applicant. Now get ready to shell out your savings. The standard application is £3,029 and most people get a decision within 26 weeks of submitting the online application. Priority service is £3,529, and most people get a decision within 5 working days after providing the biometrics. Super priority service is £4,029, and most people get a decision by the end of next working day after attending the biometrics appointment. Choose a service according to your requirement, pay the fees, and submit the online application. Next step is to book the biometrics appointment and upload all the evidences as per the checklist. Meanwhile, you can also download the application and review it. 96% of you are watching my videos but not subscribing. Please do subscribe. I'll bring you more videos like this.